Welcome to Recap Logics. In the previous class, we have discussed about the introduction to the Python programming, and we have discussed about Python version and Python statements. Okay, this is the third class of the Python. Okay, so without any delay, let's start. Okay, yeah. In this class, we are going to discuss about the Python output or the print. Okay, in that we are going to discuss about how to print a text in the Python. First, we are going to discuss about how to print the text in Python. So we have already learned about the print function to display text or output values in the previous class. You can see over here print hello, print how are you, print bye bye. Okay, we are already familiar with this print function. Okay, yeah. Next example, let's see an example. Print hello world. Okay, this is an example for the print text. Okay, for we will execute this particular example and see the output. Okay, so you can see over here we got the output hello world exclamatory. Okay, so Python is a very simple language which has simple syntax, which is like a simple English with some mathematical uh, combination. Yeah, so next you can use printf function as many times you can want. Okay, in a programming or in the code you can use how many times you want printf function to use. You can use that many times. Okay, you can use infinite times of printf function based on your print function based on your requirement. Each call prints text on the next line by default. Okay, it means what is it mean? We need not to use any special character to move the cursor towards the next line in the print function. By default, the print function in the Python, after printing the text in the double quotation marks, it will move to the next line. Okay, yeah. Let's say an example. You can see over here print hello world. Okay, so print I am learning Python. Okay, let me execute this particular code and show you what's the meaning of the above line. So let me execute this code. So you can see over here we got the output hello world I am learning Python. Okay, so the hello world and I am learning Python are on the separate two lines. Okay, in two separate lines, right? We haven't used any special characters like we are going to use in the C language. For when we are going to use the printf function in C language, we need to use special character or the escape sequence, that is a slash n, to uh, go to the next line. Okay, in this case of Python, it by default it will move to the next line. Okay, you can see over here we haven't used any special characters to jump to the next line. Okay, so that these two statements are being printed on the two separate lines. That's the meaning of the above line, that calls each call prints text on a new line by default. Okay, yeah. So next there is another code as well. Okay, let me see. So let me execute this as well. Just a second. There are three statements actually. So let me execute. I am running the Python code in the terminal. So you can see over here there are three statements written over here in the code, and these three statements haven't used any special escape sequences like we are going to use in the C language to jump to the next line. Okay, even though not using any special functions, so you can see over here the output is displayed in the three different lines. Okay, for the three statements it have been displayed in the three different lines. Okay, next, yeah, text in Python must be inside a quotes. Okay, the text that we are going to print, or the text that we wanted to have and how to wanted to have that text in the console output, that text must be in the quotations. Okay, whether it may be a single quotation, or you can use either double quotations or single quotations based on your requirement. Okay, but I recommend you guys to use the double quotation. Why? Because similar languages in the similar languages like C, we use double quotations mostly, but using single quotations is also is valid. Okay, in Python. Yeah, so let's say an example. Print this will work, okay, and print this will also work, okay. Yeah, so let us execute this particular thing. Let me remove this. Let me execute this code, okay, whether the code is running when we are going to use both single and double quotations or not. So you can see over here with the first statement with the double quotation marks inside the print function is executed, that is this will work, okay, it is printed as this will work. And also the second statement which in which we are going to use the single quotations is also get printed the this will also work, okay. So it means using double quotations and single quotations to print text in the using the print function is valid. Yeah, that's it. So let's move to next one. So you can see over the next let me show you. If you forgot to put the text inside the quotations, Python will give the error, okay. What is the text that we are going to require to print on the console? You have to must use these, whether single quotations or the double quotations. If you are not using those, then you will get an error. Let us see that one as well. So example, so this is an example. This will cause an error, okay. This will cause an error. Why? Because we haven't used either double quotations or the single quotations in this particular code in the print function. So let's run this code and let's see what is the error that we are going to get. So you can see over here we are getting the unexpected indented. Okay, here there is unexpected indentation. So let me save this code and rerun to get an actual error. What will happen? So let's see. So you can see over here, perhaps you forgot comma, invalid syntax, invalid syntax error, invalid syntax, perhaps you forgot comma. It's saying that a comma, okay, we have forgot some comma, but we forgot the quotations, right? So let's see. So syntax error, right? Invalid syntax, we have got the invalid syntax. That is the thing that I have represented over here. And let's move forward. Next, print without a new line, okay. What does it mean? Now our task is to, the previously we can see over here Python is usually by default going to the next line after printing the text, right? So without having that we want the two statements to be executed in the same line, okay. Then what we should do, it means Python without a new line, okay. After executing a Python statement, it should be stay on that line only, okay. It shouldn't move to the next line. By default Python does that. What does Python does it by default Python moves to the next line by after the executing the print statement, okay. So we don't want that function, okay. So then what we have to do, okay, let's see. By default Python function ends with new line, right? It will ends with new line after printing the text inside the text or whatever it may be. It will ends with new line, okay. So we don't want this. We want consecutive next commands to be executed on the same line. Then what we need to do, if you want to print multiple words on same line, you can use the end parameter, okay. We need to use a parameter called end to end the print function in the same line, okay. Yeah, by discussing the example you get an clarity. Let's see an example. So you can see over here, this is an example where there are two statements over here which are print functions, hello world, and after hello world I use it in comma and use it in end parameter. End is call as an parameter. So equal to I have used the double quotations, okay, double quotations. So let us after that I have used the another statement which is I will print on the same line, okay. So first let me execute this particular two lines without the n parameter, then see the output and then use the n parameter and see the output, and then we will get a difference. What is the difference between both when using the end parameter and when not using the end parameter? Okay, so you can see over here, when we are not using the end parameter, then the, let me clear this and re-execute the program. Just a second. Generate code not. Hello world, I will print on the same line. Okay, both the statements or the both the comments are getting printed on the two different lines. Okay, there are two different statements, and those two different statements are being printed on the two different lines when we are not using the end function, end parameter. So when I'm going to use the end parameter, and parameter should be used like this. Okay, double quotations. Then let me save this particular code and re-execute this particular program. Then let's see the output. So you can see over here, both the statement, that is hello world and I will print on the same line, are being printed on the console in the same line. Okay, when I am going to use the end parameter. That's the difference between both, while using the end parameter and while not using the end parameter. While not using the end parameter, by default Python will ends on the next line, new line. Okay, while using the end parameter, we are able to end the uh, print statement to be end in the same line where the text is being printed. Okay, that's the difference. So if you want, you can use space over here, by because after exclamatory, immediately the I is getting printed, which is belongs to the second statement. Okay, to differentiate these both values, or the to have a readability, we can use space in between these double quotes. So let me save this and also show you the output. So let's see. So you can see over here the space is, we got this space. So let us see by writing a text inside the this particular double quotations. So let me write Python. Okay, let's see what happens. So you can see over here. So if you want, you can write the text inside the this particular double quotations as well. That text will be printed. First the hello world is getting printed, and then there is a space over here, and then immediately the next statement is getting printed on the same line. Why? Because we have used the end parameter. So it means you can also use the text inside the end parameter double quotes. Okay, so let me add the space over here and rerun the code to differentiate the and to improve the readability. So you can see over here, there is a space in front of Python and after the Python. So let me use single quotes. Okay, whether this particular end function is able to work with the single quotes or not. So let me see this. So let us execute the code. So you can see over here, both double quotes and single quotes are also getting uh, executed, and we are going to use this. So that's all. So let's move to the next topic. Just a second, let me comment. Okay, yeah. So note that we had a space after the end for better readability. Okay, that's the point I have discussed while executing that particular code, right? So till now what we have done is we are learned about how to print the text. Okay, we didn't learn about how to print numbers. So that's the point that we are going to discuss. Python output numbers, it means how to print the numbers in the Python. Let's see. Print numbers, how we are going to print the numbers. You can also use the print function to display numbers. Okay, not only for printing the text itself, to use the print function, the print function can also print the numbers as well. Okay, yeah. However, unlike text, okay, we don't put numbers inside double quotes. Okay, what we are going to do is, there is a difference between the printing the text and printing the numbers in the Python. Okay, while printing the text, we have to use either double quotes or the single quotes to print that particular text. Okay, while printing the numbers, we don't need to use any quotes to print that particular number. Okay, we simply can put the number in the parenthesis of the print function. Okay, you can see over here an example, print 3. Okay, print 358, print 50,000. Okay, you can also do let me discuss this point next. Yeah, so let's execute this particular codes. There will be error, I think so. Why? Because there is an indentation. Let me remove. Yeah, so let us execute this code by saving the code. You can see over here 358 50,000 gets printed in the console. Okay, yeah, even though you can use codes, okay, it will be taken as character in this case. Okay, you can also take it as quotes, double quotes. It will be taken as character, and let me show that. Here this 3 will be character, treated as a character, whereas these 358 and 50,000 will be treated as numbers. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, while printing the numbers, you shouldn't use any quotation marks or the double quotations or the single quotations. Okay, so even if you use the quotation marks, then it will get printed, but the type will be uh, different. Okay, the data type of the that particular character will be different, whereas in this case it will be treated as a character data type, whereas in this 358 will be treated as a number, whereas this particular 3 will be treated as char. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, so I think I hope you got this particular point, and let me erase this. So next, we can also do math inside the print function. We can also do some mathematical calculations inside the parentheses of the print function. Let me see. Let me show you that as well. 3 plus 3, 2 into 5. Okay. Yeah. So let me execute this particular code. Okay. To show you the output. So in the previous class, we have printed the numbers, just the numbers itself. Whereas in this case, we are going to print the expressions. Okay. Mathematical expression 3 plus 3 will be 6. Okay, we got the output 6, and 2 into 5 will be 10. We got the output 10. Okay, yeah, like this we also can able to print the math functions. Next, mix text and numbers. Firstly, we have discussed how to print the text, and then we have discussed how to print the numbers. Now we are going to discuss how to print the both combination of text and numbers. Okay, you can combine text and numbers in one output by separating them with comma. Okay, with a comma we can print the both text and numbers. Okay, comma is used to separate both text and numbers, while we are going to use the print function to print both text and numbers at a time. Okay, let's see example. Okay, print I am 35 years old. Okay, okay, that's it. I think so. Yeah. Let me execute this particular code. Yeah, you can see over here. Here, the first one is a text which is in the double quotes. Let me use single quotes over here for your understanding purpose. And then we have used the 30 comma, which is used to separate this particular number 35 and the text inside these double quotes. Okay, and then after 35 we again used the comma to separate the years old, which is a text, and 35 which is a number. Okay, years old is written inside the single quotes, whereas I am is written inside the double quotes. Okay, this particular code is a combination of both text and numbers. Okay, like this we are going to print the both combinations of numbers and text using the comma as a separator. Let me run the code. So you can see over here I am 35 years old is the output, which printed the both text and numbers together, where we have used the comma as a separator. Okay, yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'm done with this video. So if you have any doubts, please comment, and also, yeah, I always recommend you guys to have an hands-on experience just blindly watching this particular video and closing YouTube. After sometimes you might forget these topics. So I always suggest you guys to have an hands-on experience by coding these particular things in you by your own, okay, using the online interpreters. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.